4-1 yesterday on the Power 5, and wouldn't you know, we swept all 3 MAC plays. I told you, I am Mr. Mac, one of the 7 or 8 most famous graduates in Mid-American Conference history. Bottom line, that makes it a 217, 181, and 12 long-term run here on the show, including 34, 19, and 1 the last 11 days. Go ahead, smash that like button if you've been enjoying all these free winners. I've got 5 more, 5, count them as per usual, today. After neglecting the NBA on the Power 5 yesterday, 3 plays from the association on today's show. I've got some action and college basketball as well. As a reminder, you can always comment down below and share your thoughts on these selections. So here we go. Number 1. Yep, let's start with some action. Kent State, Miami, under 46.5. Lower total than last week when I told you to bet the under in Kent State, Ohio, which was a double-digit winner thanks to Kent not scoring. But while it's a lower total this week, Kent State is up against an even better defense. Miami has allowed more than 21 points in just 2 games all season. And keep in mind, all 9 offenses the Red Hawks have faced are obviously better than Kent State's. The Golden Flashes, who are the lone remaining winless team in the country and have not led for a single second all season, they managed 114 total yards and just 7 first downs last week versus Ohio. But I will say this for Kent. 2 of the touchdowns they allowed last week against Ohio were kick returns. So them giving up 41 was a tad bit misleading. Given the fact Kent's team total here is 7.5, all we need to worry about is Miami's offense not going wild. And they shouldn't, not with a look ahead to Northern Illinois next week. The Red Hawks, while better offensively as of late, did start the season with 5 straight games of 20 points or fewer in regulation. Oh, by the way, 9 of the last 10 meetings between Kent and Miami have stayed under. Now, if you want more action, head on over to my page where I'll have at least 1 premium selection for Wednesday night college football. As a reminder, I am the #1 college football handicapper at WagerTalk.com this season. Also #1 the last 365 days. It's a 50 and 23 run overall in CFB, including 5-1 last week, and I'm 11-2 last 13 plays rated 4% or higher. Again, 50 and 23, my last 73 college football selections. Now to the NBA. Number 2 on the Power 5 today, Indiana -1.5 at Orlando. This may seem counterintuitive to many of you, considering Orlando's yet to lose a home game this season, but the Magic just played last night in the Emirates Cup, where they blew out Charlotte 114-89 as 8.5-point chalk. Now, the Magic are not only 5-0 straight up at home, but they have 3 straight double-digit wins. But the caveat here, the Pacers are coming in rested. They were not in action last night. In fact, they've been off for 2 days since beating the Knicks 132-121. Remember, no Banchero for Orlando. So the fact they've been winning by margin lately has been a bit surprising. I just think you look at this situation, being on the second night of a back-to-back works against the Magic here. No Wendell Carter Jr. either. Number 3, more NBA. I like Milwaukee -5.5 versus Detroit. Now, if you caught either the morning wager or the NBA tip-off show yesterday here on WagerTalk TV, and let this be a reminder, you should be subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel, then you know my best bet in the NBA was Pistons over the Heat. That got home, but only after an inexplicable performance down the stretch from the Pistons, who turned the ball over on 7 of 9 possessions across the end of the fourth quarter and overtime. I don't even want to get into the blow-by-blow of that. All you need to know, the Pistons did get the win and cover, but it took a lot out of them, more than it should have. Now, Milwaukee also played last night, but their win, 99-85 over Toronto, well, obviously, as you could tell from the final score, that ended up being a lot easier than what Detroit did, and Milwaukee gets to stay home for a second straight game. The Bucks have obviously underperformed relative to expectations so far this season. We all understand this. I just think they are the team in this matchup that's more likely to get the job done on the second night of a back-to-back. By the way, Milwaukee's won 9 consecutive meetings versus Detroit. Number 4, one more in the NBA, then I'll close out with college hoops. Phoenix +7.5 at Sacramento. I know the Suns are on the second night of a back-to-back and Kevin Durant is injured, but this is too many points to pass up. Note, it's a rematch from Sunday when the Kings won 127-118 in Phoenix, but that game did go to overtime. Suns shot just 41.9% overall, 31.6% from 3. My guess is they'll shoot the ball better in tonight's rematch. Also, we're talking about a Suns team that has been beaten in regulation only 1 time all season, and that was back on October 25th. Last night, the Suns beat the lowly Jazz 120-112 to improve the 9-2 straight up on the season. I know they've won a lot of close games, but my view is if they do lose tonight, which I think they will, it's going to be close. So take the points. In college basketball, number 5 here on the Power 5, we close it out by laying 13.5 with George Mason against Central Michigan. Tip-off 7 p.m. Eastern in this one. 4th game for both teams. George Mason's 2-1 straight up and against the number. Only loss was at Marquette. The Patriots' 2 wins have been by 17 and 38 points. Meanwhile, Central Michigan, they're 1-2 straight up. They did cover at Marquette Monday, only losing by 8 as 26.5-point underdogs. The fact they were plus 26.5, though, should tell you something about the quality of this team. There's not a lot of quality to speak of. All 3 Chippewas games I know have been decided by 8 points or less this season, but tonight's a situation where they will struggle to score against a GMU defense that's top 70 nationally in efficiency, so lay the points. Let us now recap the Power 5, in case if you have forgotten anything, didn't write it down, whatever. Number 1, Kent State, Miami, under 46.5. Number 2, Indiana, minus 1.5 at Orlando. Number 3, Milwaukee, minus 5.5 versus Detroit. Number 4, Phoenix, plus 7.5 at Sacramento. Number 5, George Mason, minus 13.5 versus Central Michigan. A lot of favorites in there, more favorites than I usually give out here on the Power 5. You can comment down below with your thoughts and questions, comments, concerns, anything you'd like to share with the audience. Just be a part of the WagerTalk family here. Get involved and let me know what you're betting on tonight as well. I always enjoy seeing that. And after you've smashed that like button, which I know you've already done, head on over to wt.buzz/BP. I already mentioned that my college football record is top ranked at WagerTalk this season and the last 365 days. If you're looking to get involved long-term, we've got a great special offer for you guys. Right now, you can get every single college football play that I release from tonight all the way through January's national championship game, and it'll cost you just $229. Remember, a 5% play is $35 by itself. So if you want to do the smart thing, lock in long-term, go to wt.buzz/BP and take advantage. Right there on my page, you'll see the rest of the season from the number 1 ranked college football expert. Just $229 get you every play. No coupon code is needed to get on board. And that's going to do it for Wednesday's edition of the Power 5. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up if you did, and make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Until next time, guys, let's cash some tickets.